Hey guys, it's Dan Lotz of 922 Films, and here I have a very interesting video. I wanted to talk to you guys about hurtful, harmful, or harsh criticisms on your videos. I think every filmmaker has dealt with this, and I think a lot of YouTubers have covered this topic, but not in a filmmaker-specific way. And so I wanted to give you my 4 points in how to respond to a harsh critique on your specific work. So my first point is assume best intent. This is, I think, a good life lesson in general, is always assume that a person is giving their best intent first, because I think it allows you to at least prioritize, especially on the internet where it's hard to read subtext, that everyone's intentions are pure and as helpful as possible. Not always is this the truth, but I think that this is a great, starting point, especially when you're on the internet, because you can't really understand all the subtext and understand if a person is trying to be snarky or helpful. And so I always assume best intent first. I think that's a huge point in order to make your responses more effective, is to assume best intent. Because I think a lot of times if you respond with something that is equally of good intent, the person may actually come back and respond to you very positively. So that's my first point. This leads directly into my second point, which is respond with grace. Always respond in a very polite, calm, and collected manner. You don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to allow yourself to just completely take every criticism, but I think you should respond in a cool, calm, and collected way. You can respond to points that you think are fair and unfair, but ultimately treat them nice. And I always like to add a have a nice day or have a good week or something like that at the very end, just to show that you actually care about what the person is saying and you care that they were willing to comment on your video, because commenting on someone's video takes time. And I think it should be something that should be appreciated, especially by the film community. The third point is don't feed the trolls. Just don't do this. If you've responded once with kindness and they keep responding with either negativity or distracting from the main point of what your video is about, don't feed them anymore. You can either just block them or ignore them. Personally, I prefer ignoring rather than blocking. I think blocking stifles the conversation and can actually piss off more people. So I think the best thing to do is allow everyone to be able to speak their mind, but don't feed the trolls. I think also blocking is bad because I think you're limiting the pool of your discussion. If you have a negative comment and you put it against a bunch of positive comments, there might be someone in your feed that sees the negative comment and decides to respond. And when I was younger, I used to notice this. If I saw a negative comment, I would see many of my friends come to the defense of my video, and it ultimately would boost the number of engagement. So sometimes negative press, negative comments is actually a very good thing for your videos, because it actually fosters discussion about whether or not your video is good or bad or the quality of your content. So actually blocking is not a very good thing. I would prefer to leave the video comments alone. And the fourth and final comment that I have is don't let it bother you. If you let it stew in your brain and you allow yourself to let these hurtful, hateful, or maybe even helpful comments get to you too much, you might actually not take away what is the purposeful intent that this person was trying to say to you. So first of all, assume best intent. See where they're coming from. I know one time when I was working on my feature film, my wife actually made a critique of my credits, and it was very hurtful to me at the time being, but she was being very helpful. So I think it's actually important to see if there is helpful intent in what is being said. Then I would say respond with kindness and just don't feed the trolls. And then finally, don't let it bother you. Whether it's something that's good or bad, let it go. See if you can learn from something from it. And if you can or can't, then make your decision on how you're going to go forward making future content. So I think that is the main thing. And I just really thought this would be a great video because recently I've had some videos that have had some great and really positive comments, and then some comments that released more negative or neutral leaning. And I think that the strategy of how to respond to them is so important. And so many young filmmakers that I've seen personally get a little too defensive and a little too interactive with trolls and people that are clearly trying to just troll their work because they don't really care about what this person is actually making. So just be careful, follow the 4 points that I suggested, and then maybe give me your points or maybe a story of how maybe you dealt with someone with a more harsh or critical viewpoint. Because not everyone who critiques your work is a troll. A lot of these people are extremely helpful people that want to make your work better. So just give me a little story either in Facebook or YouTube and send it to me, and I would love to hear it, and I would love to see if we can all spread a little bit of positivity and maybe go and write a nice comment on someone else's video that is either helpful or insightful. So thank you so much. Please subscribe to 922 Films and have a great day.